So last episode was a very bumper episode of Upon This Rock. This episode, nice and straightforward. 2 games, that's all we've got. We're going to have Leicester in the FA Cup 5th round at home at London Road. And we're going to follow that up with QPR at home again in the league, who sit second in the league. So that'll be very, very tight. 2 very, very big games for us. Roll the titles. Hello there guys, and welcome back to Upon This Rock. Thankfully, we've gone through that bumper episode, last episode, so if you have missed it, please go back and check that out. So last time we met was against Bristol City in that 4-match highlight special. We followed that up with 3 back-to-back wins. First one was against Reading, 1-0. Jack Baldwin with the winner at 38 minutes. Came out with an 8.4 as well, so really above the head and shoulders above everybody else in the squad. Follow that with a 4-0 demolition of Barnsley at home. Max Clayton, Connor Washington getting his first goal for the club since coming back on loan, and Jermaine Anderson, as well as a own goal from Reece Wiggins. Other notable kind of players that started: Harry Anderson started his first game after coming back from loan. He's had a couple of loan spells away from the club. 2-star current ability, but he can have that 4-star potential ability. As I said, he's been away at Lincoln and he's also been away at Yeovil. Had 2 really good seasons around the 7.0 mark, and his first game was a 7.3 against Barnsley. And then after that was a 1-0 win away at Villa Park against Aston Villa. Squeaky goal from Connor Washington. We absolutely dominated the game. 25 shots, 10 on target. This was with the new tactic that we've got. Connor Washington getting us the goal. Nice build-up play here, keeping the ball really, really well. Williams now plays it back to Oxford. Oxford finds that ball across to Connor Washington. He absolutely lamps it home near post against Galini, and that was the winning goal. Literally all he needed was that one goal. Villa played very, very poorly, as you can see from the stats. And that brings us to today. That puts us 3rd in the Championship, a point behind QPR, who we play in the second game, and 4 points behind Norwich. We're comfortably in that playoff place. We're kind of 7 points into the playoffs, so really, really good season that we're having at the minute. Jason Cummings, 19 goals for the season, second in the charts. Jack Baldwin, second in the average rating charts as well, 7.41. So all of our players are playing really, really well. So this game is against, the first game up is against Leicester in the FA Cup 5th round. We're at home, and this is the team that we're going to play. We're going to play the 4-2-3-1. We've got Luke McGee in goal, we've got Hayden White at right back, Oxford and Baldwin in the middle, Sean Kavanagh at left back, Jermaine Anderson as the box-to-box midfielder, Chris Forrester as the central midfielder on defend. We've got Matt Clayton on the right, Gribbin on the left. Max Clayton on the right, Marcus Maddison on the left, and Gribbin in the middle. And then we've got Connor Washington up front, because Jason Cummings has been a little bit off form the last couple of games. His last decent game was against Bournemouth. That was a 7.4. He's had a 6.7, a 6.4, and another 6.4. So I'm just going to bring him out of the firing line. Now we've got Connor Washington back in on loan. Hopefully that rotation will help Jason Cummings get back into some form. So that's the team we're going to go for. Let's go forward now and play Leicester. So Leicester are actually 4th in the Premier League, so they haven't dipped like they have in real life. They're actually maintaining their fantastic form at the top of the league. As you can see there, they did win the league a couple of years ago, which we all know is probably one of the best stories ever to be told in sport. They're going to be lining up as a 4-4-2. They've still got quite a few of the kind of first teamers that are still there. So Christian Fuchs, Wes Morgan, Mark Albrighton, Andy King, Mendy, Mahrez, Vardy, Slimani. Any other names? Okazaki there as well, Schlupp, Kasper Schmeichel on the bench. So it's going to be a very, very tough, very good, even tougher than the Bournemouth game, purely because 4th in the league. They're in the Champions League spots, and they won the league a couple of years ago. So that's where we want to get to in the end. Hopefully win the Premier League. But let's kick off now and let's see what we can do against Leicester City. Oh, we've scored. First opening highlight, again, wasn't commentating because nothing really comes of these highlights, but what a move there by the Posh. Let me just kick that back. Fantastic sweeping move from the boys there. So fantastic sweeping move from the boys. Let me just roll that back. So from kickoff, Leicester kick it off. Just going to fire this forward. So Forrester makes this interception here on Mahrez. Gribbin now taking control. Over to Maddison. Maddison just trying to get past Mahrez, but Chandler comes in and he just tries to launch it forward for Jamie Vardy. Forrester cuts it out. Anderson now picking up the ball. Gribbin with loads of space. Washington, what a little run off the back of number 30 there, which was Duarte. And he just gets it in. Fantastic start from the boys. That's 1-0 to the Posh after a minute. Brilliant start. Can't fault them there. So second highlight, Anderson now, but he's been tackled by a mixture of Albrighton and King, and they've launched it forward to Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy with that pace, but Luke McGee stands tall and Reece Oxford gets it clear. Tries to find Clayton, but can't latch onto it. Oxford again standing up against Slimani. Albrighton, and again Baldwin getting it clear. So great defensive covering there, but I am going to knock it down to standard. I think they're looking for Jamie Vardy over the top, see if he can latch onto a big through ball from one of the midfielders or the defenders. Connor Washington getting the goal. Come back and he's firing on all cylinders. That'll make it 2-2 now for Connor, or 3-3 I think. So come back and he's hit the ground running. Jamie Vardy now taking a pot shot, but Luke McGee's going to see that high, wide and very handsome all day long. Other than the goal, we've not really seen a highlight from us at all. Very strange. Took the lead very, very early on. Still loads of room of improvement for the boys. Let's see if we can get them concentrating and fired up. Other than Connor Washington on a 7, you've got Baldwin on a 7.1, Luke McGee on a 7.2. The midfield, there's no one really playing well in the midfield, so it could be an area where we can bring some fresh legs on and fresh ideas on as well. So we kick off, keeping the ball very patiently, very nicely here in the middle of the park. Mendy on a yellow card already, something we could exploit, but also Jermaine's on a yellow as well. Madison now into Anderson, into Gribbin. Gribbin trying to find Connor again, and Connor makes it 2-0. That's 2 goals in the opening highlights of both halves. Never seen that before. I've played Football Manager for a good 10 years and I've never seen that before at all. So 2 opening highlights and 2 goals for the boys. So Anderson into Gribbin, great first time pass there from Connor. Duarte's all over the place and he puts it top left hand corner, first time shot. Zila had no chance. That's 2-0 to the Posh, and we could be looking to going into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Fuchs now on the right hand side with a free kick, tries to find Vardy, puts it out to Mahrez. Mahrez now on this left hand side. Is he going to get the ball in? He is, and Vardy who's hit the bar. Kavanagh to get the ball clear, and Maddison mopping that up as well. But Jamie Vardy should have been scoring that, especially someone of his calibre. Let's make some changes. Let's get some fresh legs on. Jermaine is absolutely wiped out. So let's get Leo on in the middle. I'm going to bring Chris Forrester off as well. And Reece is struggling as well. I'm going to bring Pennington on. Let's. I know it's a bit risky doing all 3 subs, but needs must. Having some very weary legs there in the middle of the park. Last 15 minutes. Can we hold on? Gribbin now, and he's made it 3-0. We've come to know and love Gribbin from a free kick on the right hand side, and he's produced again. What a hit by Callum Gribbin. That's 3-0 to the Posh. Here we go, perfect angle for it. He's done this time and time again for us. Zila did get a hand to it, probably should have done a little bit better with that, but Gribbin there showing the Leicester fans who he is. Fantastic goal from Callum, and that is literally going to bring us to the end of the game. Fuchs now on the edge. Oh, he's hit the bar. So they've hit the bar twice in this match, but hitting the bar doesn't score your goals, and that is it. Peterborough United 3, Leicester City 0 in the 5th round of the FA Cup, and that keeps us going, keeps us marching on. We move forward, literally 3 days. We'll do the FA Cup 6th round draw first, and then we do QPR at home. So we'll come back when the FA Cup draw is happening. So who else got through? So Arsenal beat Hull, United beat Swansea, Newcastle beat Villa, Oxford beat Charlton. So Oxford are still in the cup. Southampton beat Huddersfield, and we beat Leicester. So all home wins there. You got Chelsea versus West Brom, and you got Watford versus Liverpool. So let's see who wins out of Chelsea, West Brom, Watford and Liverpool. So West Brom have beaten Chelsea 2-1. And Watford have beaten Liverpool. So that's two big names gone. So bigger names, you've got Arsenal and United. Southampton still in the cup. You've got West Brom and you've got Watford. So could be anybody's this season. Let's see who we get in the 6th round. So FA Cup 6th round is upon us. Let's see who we get. So in the hat, Arsenal, United, Newcastle, Oxford, us, Southampton, Watford and West Brom. So let's see who we get. Arsenal are going to be at home against Newcastle. We are going to be at home. Who are we going to get out of the remaining 5 teams? We've got the smallest team left in the competition. That's Oxford. So we could be potentially looking at a semi-final place. Yeah, could be potentially going to Wembley if we beat Oxford. That is absolutely madness. Southampton are going to play Man U and West Brom get Watford. So we could be playing for a semi-final place. So chance at going to Wembley in an FA Cup semi-final in our 2nd full season at the club. That is absolutely insane. Coming up though, QPR at home. They lay 2nd and we're 4 points behind them. So this is the team we're going for our game at home against QPR. We're going to go for Luke McGee in goal, Kavanagh, Baldwin, Oxford and White at the back. Thompson and De Silva Lopez in the middle because just a little bit of fatigue from Jermaine and Chris Forrester. We're going to go for Maddison on the left, Teixeira just behind Cummins and Clayton on the right hand side. Cummins is in purely because Connor is ineligible to play against QPR, his parent club. So let's see how this goes. So as I said, QPR, they're only a point ahead of us. I thought there was 4 points. I think it was Norwich. I'm getting confused there. So only a point ahead. And we're 3 points behind Norwich as well at the minute as it stands. Bamford now been launched forward, but he's offside. That should be the end of the first highlight. And then between kind of Brentford and Fulham, it's a good 4 points there. So yeah, it could be very tight towards the end of the season. Hindman now over to Sherry, but Thompson is he going to get there? No, they played advantage, but White tackles. I think it was Hayden on the Nelson on the left hand side. Baldwin now just taking his time, keeping the ball, not doing anything rash or silly. Teixeira now. Cummins gets ahead of Hall. Oh, he's made a mistake, and Cummins is not going to miss those. Smithies and Anua getting in each other's way, and Cummins is there to absolutely pounce on anything like that. 1-0 to the Posh after 3 minutes. Wasn't looking like it was going to come to anything, and Cummins is there to score. It's his 21st, 22nd goal of the season. Anua here, and Smithy's actually slide tackling his own defender. Anua just standing there looking a little bit perplexed himself, and Cummins is there to mop up that situation. 1-0 to Peterborough United, and that puts us into 2nd in the league. Launch the ball forward. Kavanagh there, getting his head to it. Thompson, Cummins now got some room to move into, to move away from the defence and the midfielder. Clayton trying to take on 2 men there, but Bidwell, great little left back in the Championship, tackling him there. Hindman back to Bidwell, trying to launch it up to Bamford, but not getting anywhere close. Through to Cummins in that channel. Cummins now. Oh, Smithies, great save at the near post. Half an hour gone. Maddison with a free kick over to Cummins, and Baldwin taps it in. Smithies comes for the claim, doesn't get anywhere, and Jack Baldwin scores his 3rd goal of the season after 32 minutes. So Maddison now, what a ball that is. Smithies comes, Cummins, Bamford, Cummins, Smithies all getting each other's way, and Baldwin literally one of the easiest goals you'll ever see. We've had 2 in this game. We're riding our luck here at the minute, but 2-0 to the Posh. We are leading the shots and the percentage for passing and possession as well. So going to try and keep them focused, not to lose anything, and we're going to kick off for the second half. 57% possession, 79% pass completion, won 6% of our tackles as well, and 6.95 average rating for the whole team. So playing relatively well here. De Silva Lopez getting caught on the 18-yard box and launched it up to Bamford. Bamford now keeping hold of the ball, and that's a great ball through to Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson now, but Luke McGee stands tall yet again. Reece Nelson on loan from Arsenal. He's one of their wonder kids. Cracking little left winger. Nelson again going to cross that corner in, but White heads it clear. Can't beat the front man Teixeira now. Down the right channel to Cummins. He cuts in, great ball. but tries to find Maddison, and that's just unlucky. Great defending there from QPR. Just after the hour mark, Perch now with a throw in, but Cavan, he tried to find Sherry, but Cavan has cut that out. Cummins now just holding the ball up, just what I need him to do. Clayton now on this right hand side, but Nelson had a great game for QPR. Nicks the ball off Clayton. White tries to nick it back, but not quite there. We've got 3 men surrounding him there, and no one can get anywhere close. Sherry, is he going to play Bamford? Bamford he does, and that's a great save by Luke McGee. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. Straight at Luke McGee, and nothing comes from it. The last 20 minutes here, we are going to try and make some changes and just shore up the game a little bit. Jack Baldwin's coming off for Pennington, and we are going to knock it down to standard. So knocked it down to standard. I've brought Pennington on for Baldwin and Maddison off for Paul Taylor, and I might bring Thompson off for Lee Evans as well. That should shore everything up. We haven't really had much of the second half. We only probably had 1 or 2 shots on target, or 1 or 2 shots at goal for the second 45 minutes. But 15 minutes to go now. Taylor on this left hand side, going to play it nice and easy into Lee Evans. Kavanagh to Taylor. Taylor, nice little triangles on this left hand side, through to Zhao, into Cummins. Cummins now a little bit of space, but closed down quite quickly from their number 12. Great ball over to Paul Taylor, and that's a wonderful hit by Leo da Silva Lopez. What a ball what a ball to Paul Taylor over the top. Paul Taylor first time into Leo, and Leo just absolutely smashes it. Cummins back to Evans, and what a first time pass to Taylor. Taylor heads it back to Leo, and Leo just walks onto it left footed. What a strike by Leo da Silva Lopez. What great little move there from the posh. That puts us 3-0 up against QPR in a commanding position. 5 minutes to go, and it looks like, even though we didn't want it at the start of the season, promotion could be on the cards. Coming into the last 15 seconds of the game, Cummins now trying to launch an attack there, but he's just going to play it nice and simple back to Hayden White. And this is going to be it. That's it. Peterborough United 3, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Another fantastic performance. Over nearly 7s across the board on the starting lineup, other than Max Clayton on that right hand side. But 8.2 by Leo, 7.4 by Jason Cummins. But all in all, 2 very awesome performances from what could have been 2 very, very tricky games. So next time round, I'm not going to go any further. I'm literally going to come back straight away with the Norwich and the Notts Forest game. So Norwich away, going to be a massive game. They're top of the league, and Notts Forest are a massive team in the Championship. So that'll be our next episode round. Norwich and Nottingham Forest. If you've enjoyed the episode, please do leave it a like. Shows that you're supporting the channel, supporting the series, and you're enjoying everything that I'm putting out. So you don't miss out on anything, please do hit that subscribe button. Don't want you missing out on any other content that comes from the channel. And until next time, Norwich and Nottingham Forest, I'll see you soon.